we've seen people during our tenure die, disintegrate.
Yeah.
And I must admit, I look at someone like Britney and think, I've been in the same room. I've had a conversation with her.
Yeah.
How, knowing how many people were around her, how has that been allowed to happen?
I don't know.
Is that machine, does it just chew people up and spit them out like that?
Well, it doesn't chew everybody up, but I mean, it's very few people that have got through it, isn't it? I mean, look at Ed Sheeran and Adele. They're the biggest artists in the world. They're kind of quiet and they're kind of just doing their normal thing. We don't know that much about their private life and they just get on with it and they can cope with it. I think America's a massive beast, and the whole, well, we know from a number of other people, when you're a child or young star that develops within the industry, you know, even people like Billie Piper, I've got so much respect for her because, God, you know, she could have really ended up going down that road of the Britneys, and she was kind of, 15 when she got her first number one, and she halted that entire machine and said, no, I'm not doing it anymore. Dipped back in with Doctor Who, experienced that fame again, but she was dealing with stuff that she'd only, you know, just started to deal with from when she was a teen. So I think it's probably about the team that's behind you and people's intentions. It's never going to be easy to navigate that.
Is that why you started doing PR?
I mean, I definitely, yeah. I mean, it's one of the reasons. I think celebrity journalism was just not, as we've said, going anywhere. And I think that was quite hard to deal with. I'm not a Love Island person. As far as I'm concerned, there's a lot of things that are inciting people to just be stupid nowadays. It doesn't feel, there's not much common sense. You know, I've got great respect for someone like Kim Kardashian because she's gone and done a law degree and she's clearly been doing a lot, but then she just ruins it by making a dick of herself on social media. And I'm like, oh God, it's such a conundrum because you're just thinking these girls, they just want attention all the time, and they've got a brilliant mum who's really good in business and she's made this empire. But God, if you watch the last season of the Kardashians, which I did, it's the first time that I watched it and I went, ooh, they're all mentally really fucked up. You know, Chloe looks like she's on the edge of having an anxiety attack every single day. There's definitely an air of sadness that I think comes with that amount of fame.
Yes.
And maybe, you know, in the nicest possible way, I get that they've done very well for themselves, but there isn't talent there. There's no talent.
Yeah, but that's not a prerequisite.
In an old school way.
Yeah.
You know, it's very different, you know, because nowadays, as a modern day celebrity, talent isn't the forefront. But unfortunately, I've just been on that cusp where I still remember, and I have got rid of people that were on my books as PR clients because I said to them, you've got to go and get your passport today. What do you put in occupation? And they couldn't tell me.
Right.
I went, okay, that needs to be like a real prerequisite of who I work with because I can't work with someone like that. You know, I'm not interested in Love Island people that, you know, they go to these agents or agencies or PR people who immediately can turn around and get them their, I don't know, their $200,000 deal with chuck away clothing that's harming the environment. And they have this, you know, there's a real process that goes with being on Love Island now. But, you know, ultimately the show is just, what is it doing to people? What is it doing to our teenagers? It's got to the point where, at least when we were journalists, people were growing up going, okay, cool. Well, I don't know. I could be a presenter, or I could be a singer, or I could have that kind of career. Now people are just this ITV generation of, oh yeah, I'm going to go on that show and just wear some really slutty outfit, and then everyone's going to like me and buy my tanning products.
It was aspirational and it was inspirational back in the day. It was like, wow, look at what these people have done from nothing.
Yeah.
That was the thing. It was like they were alchemists. They had created this incredible life and career for themselves where they earned loads of money and life looked really good. But they'd really worked for it.
Yeah.
And that's the element that's missing now, I think.
I mean,
you don't get to report on the journey. You just get to report on the destination.
Yeah. And I think Big Brother as well, you know, it's different, isn't it? Because we've got it. That felt like normal people going into a show, especially those early ones. And I know people like Kate Lawler, I've met Alison, and all of those. Brian Dowling, yeah.
Dowling, yeah.
And so they're all, people that have really made a career of where they've come from, and they're fantastic. And Kate's a brilliant presenter.
Yeah.
And I'd always fight for her corner because I just think she's great.
They took the opportunity.
They did, but they did it in a much more kind of natural way. And they all work with people that are about furthering your career and longevity. It just doesn't feel like it's there anymore. And also, having been in PR in the last 2 years, working for clients and, they get offered $2,000 to post about something or do a story. It's the most unfulfilling job in the world, having to orchestrate that. It's There's got to be more.